Today I'm speaking to Brittany Starobin of Haven Postnatal. Haven is an incredible postnatal retreat center in Atlanta that is revolutionizing the way we approach motherhood. We talk about postpartum depression, which she experienced after each of her 3 babies, maternal support, and how Brittany built Haven while being a busy mom, working a full-time job, and of course, being an awesome wife. I have too many questions. You got a lot going on.
Yes.
Your business is super cool.
Thank
why
you.
I had to reach out to you because I had learned about like this. Is it Chinese model of?
Yeah, it's more like, I guess you can say Asian inspired.
Asian,
Yeah,
right.
it's
South
like
Korea,
in Korea.
they have it.
Yeah, they have it in South Korea, and in China they do a form of it as well as like Europe has their form of like postpartum care, right?
Yes.
So I think everyone besides like as far as well-developed countries go, right? Besides America, seems to understand that this woman has been pregnant for 40 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And after she's delivered this baby, she deserves care and support, right? They understand that once the baby's born, the baby has to be seen 3 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But the person who just had the baby, they're like 6 week and bye cutie, I hope you survive, right? And it's sad, but everyone else understands that she needs support throughout that 1 year, postpartum.
Right. Okay. So that is exactly what you guys do. Postpartum care.
Postpartum care.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so postpartum care, Haven. We're going to talk more about that. But before, I want to know about how did you get here? We were just like, before we started recording, you're from East Cobb.
Yep.
I'm from Alpharetta, Johns Creek area. We have a lot in common. We got the kids. We live near each other. So, okay, tell me. Where do you go to school? Where do you go to college? Because
Yep.
I didn't hear that part
Yep,
before.
I went to Virginia State University.
Okay. What did you study?
Biology.
Biology. Okay,
Yep.
so were you going to become a doctor?
Yes, I was going to go to med school, and then I
Okay.
decided not to. And then I left and went and taught English in South Korea for a year.
Okay.
So then when I came back, my mom was like, what are you doing with your life? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, well, obviously you're not going to med school, and you didn't have to move, halfway across the world.
But I
to tell
bet that
us
was a great experience, Mom.
It was.
Right.
It was. I just I speak the language now.
But why Korea? Why South Korea?
Because during that time, so I graduated in 2009.
Me too.
Okay. So you understand the plight, right? It was a whole recession. So we have been taught, and it's been ingrained in us that, hey, go to school, graduate college, get a job. Great.
Yeah.
Go to college. Check. Graduate. Check. Get a job. There were no jobs. No one was hiring. So I went on Google. I was like, who's hiring? Because I was like, I'm not going back home. Who was hiring? It was like South Korea. Teach
Wow.
English. Go teach English.
And that's how you
That's what I did.
ended up there for a year.
For a year.
What was it like?
I loved it.
You don't even speak the language.
No, I
but
don't.
a lot of people speak English.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah?
The part of town that the city I lived in, not really, right? So it was a lot of like, whenever you don't speak a language, you'll figure it out,
Yep.
right? You'll get around. You'll do what
do.
you need to. Yeah. And plus I was teaching English. So like the kids understood it, right? And some of the teachers in the school that I was in, they understood English, but, and I would lean on them or the other foreigners in my city, and foreigners as being like, whether I had friends that were from the UK or Canadians or other Americans, or I had some friends that were from Ireland. So we just kind of I just leaned on essentially like a community that was there.
Yes. So what city were you in?
I was in Kimhae, which is like the bottom part of the country next to Busan.
Really? Okay, where is Seoul in relation to this?
Seoul would have been north of me. So
Okay.
in Seoul, of course, they speak English,
Yes.
like for the most part.
But you're totally in a different region.
I'm like at the southern part of the country, the
Okay.
very, very like southeast.
Wow. Who did you live with?
Myself.
Just by yourself? Just you? You, not an exchange family or anything like that?
No. Wow. No, so when you go and you teach English there, they will pay for room and board, right? And so they gave me an apartment, and I lived there by myself. I ended up buying like a little dog when I was there, and I brought him back.
did?
Yeah, someone else has him now,
Cute.
but yeah.
Somebody has him now?
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's still okay. That is amazing. And you just had you ever been to Korea or
No.
Asia?
I had went to Japan like a couple weeks before that, but that was after I'd already made the decision I was going to go to Korea for a year.
So you were already like, I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. Yep. Never been there.
So cool. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was really, really cool.
What made you come back after a year?
I missed, the things that you don't realize when you don't live in another country is that we are entitled.
Yes.
We have access to a lot of things that a lot of people do not. Basic things. Washing and drying your clothes, right? So I had this little bitty washer, but when it came to drying my clothes, I had to hang them like outside.
Yeah.
I would get them back and they were hard.
Yeah.
Like I mean they could stand up on their own. Okay. So it's like, first world problems. Like I miss certain things. I miss Chick-fil-A. I missed all these various things. But like what you notice is that you're not as sick. Right? When I actually came back home, I was like got really sick. Like first meal I wanted was Chick-fil-A, right? Ate that, it was
wow,
not good, right?
Really?
And so I had to ease myself back into
this lifestyle.
the food, into American food. And it like anyone that will tell you that has lived in another country, our vegetables don't taste the same. Our meat does not taste the same. Like I probably had real chicken the first time I was in Korea because I was like, what is this? Good. They're like, this is chicken. Like, we're used to like these like hormone induced chicken. No, and it even tastes different. It's interesting.
That is so. I'm allergic to peanuts.
Okay.
Only in the United States, it turns out, because I accidentally ate them in Thailand once.
Yeah.
I ate the dish. It was delicious, and then realized, oh, what is this? They're peanuts. And I was like, I'm allergic, but I guess I'm not. Yeah. And then it happened again in Mexico once.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait, what in the world is up with the peanuts in the United States? It's like and also people are always saying the same thing about bread and gluten. They go to a different country, and I can eat it. It's fine, but not in the U.S.
Yeah. I don't know what we're putting in our food.
I don't.
But there is a big difference.
Wow. So when you came back, what did you do?
When I came back, then I got into healthcare IT. So like doing implementations with electronic medical records, and then that just evolved over into doing like operations and strategy. Ooh. And then my big girl job, I call it. I work for AWS. I do healthcare and life science. I go to market for healthcare and life sciences.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. That's AWS is Amazon Web Services? Okay. See,
Look at you.
I think I know what this is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's amazing. So that's what you do now in addition to running your own business and being a mom.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. So how do you do it all? How do you manage all this?
Yeah. God.
Yeah. Hey, man, I love that. Yeah. I love that.
God, got a good support system.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got 4 kids, is that right?
4. Yep.
And boys, girls?
3 boys, 1 girl.
Is the baby the girl?
She is.
You finally had a girl?
She is sassy as all.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah. Really? How old is she?
4.
4. Oh my gosh.
Going on like 35.
My daughter is sometimes like that, but my niece, she is 9. She's like a full teenager. It's like, what in the world are these kids nowadays? Because I was so quiet. Like they tell me they could not get me to talk.
Yeah.
I was always internal inside myself. These kids nowadays have so much to say.
But they're overly exposed.
Ah, you think that's it?
Why?
Social media and stuff?
Social media, just different. They have everything at their fingertips.
Yes.
Where before, back in the day,
right.
in the 1900s, when we were kids, like you had to go to, the library if you were looking to get a book, right? We just didn't have access to all this information. I think that they're overly exposed, so therefore it matures them significantly, at a faster rate. Essentially.
That's a good point, though. I do think that might be what my niece, because she's had a cell phone since 5.
Yeah.
And her mom said, oh, she needs it because she's going to take the bus. But since 5. So, I mean, it's like, I don't even know. These kids are on social media more than I'm on social media.
YouTube, right?
YouTube.
And so, YouTube is a form of social media.
Oh, yes.
Right? And there's so much on YouTube. Especially if you don't lock down some of the controls. Your children are being exposed to God knows what, right?
God knows what.
So that's where they have a lot of access to various tools. Because some people are like, oh, I don't have my kids on social media. They're not on Facebook. They're not on Instagram. But if you let them use YouTube, they're on social.
And all these YouTube channels, we were watching one, my daughter's friend, they were each putting on videos, and when my daughter's friend put one on, it was very entertaining. I was sitting there watching the whole time. But is there grown men making these videos for little kids to the point where they even had their fans come. This is in a house.
they had their fans come, and the fans show up as a bunch of little elementary school boys, but the men are like in their 30s looking.
Yep.
Like this is it's. I didn't see anything weird, but it is a little weird because you think. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but when you think about, do you see that Nickelodeon documentary?
I like have a hard time
terrifying.
like watching like those things.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a hard time, don't even. It's terrifying. And so it's like, what is, even like the wholesome era, like when we were kids, that's what was happening behind the scenes. Like, now I'm totally paranoid. I don't trust anything.
Yeah, and that was happening behind the scenes to the parents who were just turning over that control. Because if you look at, like, I'll put Raven Simone, right? Everyone talks about like how Raven Simone mom was like so involved. Like, yeah, she was not allowing her to do that, and she was everywhere.
Yep.
Even like a Kiki Palmer, right?
Yes.
Her mom was not allowing that either.
Right.
So
their moms were right there.
Their moms were right there. They were not allowing any of that foolishness, right? And so I think that they understood that I'm going to protect my child at all costs, right? It does not matter. I'm not going to sacrifice or even put them into a situation to where I am compromising their safety for a role, where I think some other parents lost sight of that, right? Because a lot of people are seeing like money that they've never seen before. So then you are putting your children in compromising situations that you have no business putting them in because it's not safe.
It's so sad.
It's extremely sad. And I heard like that was like very sad for a lot of those kids on that Nickelodeon.
Right. I mean,
thing.
their lives are totally, I don't want to say ruined, but the experiences that they had. But, you know, a lot of parents, they are just selfish to begin with, right? So they might, a lot of, you know, especially now in the social media age, you're hearing these stories of abuse, parental abuse.
Yep.
But also these stories of like just exploiting the kids, not paying the children. You're putting the kid on the social media might be all revolving around that child.
Yep.
And apparently now the laws might have changed since I last heard, but to my knowledge, Ohio, I think it is the only state that has laws around requiring your children, if they're on their social media, to be paid.
That's crazy.
They're an actor, essentially.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's just a family business. You don't have to pay the kid. This kid deserves to be paid. And there was an article I read about these kids having grown up, you know, being their, like, the actor for the parents, and they're a teen now, and they're going to go to college, and they're broke. So crazy.
Because it's all that money, like greed, right?
Yes.
Money's the root of all evil.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, let's bring it back to you, though. Because what you're doing is really important for mothers, families, and the babies, too. So for people, I'm assuming we are in America. A lot of people are not aware of this postpartum care model.
No.
Because, like, we're going back to work after, like, a week, 6 weeks longest, maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't familiar with it. So you're able to come to us immediately after you leave the hospital, up to 12 weeks postpartum.
Oh.
Right. So some people, I know there are different retreats around the country. And so based off of where you are, you know, geographically, there is a difference in what, you know, that other retreats may see. Because, like, I'll give New York for an example. Real estate is limited, right?
Yes.
So that it's not like your in-laws can come and stay with you because you don't have the space. Yes. Whereas opposed to down here in Georgia,
you might have a basement. Yeah.
Exactly. So people are coming later to us, you know, than they would earlier, right?
Really?
Because they have the support that's already there. So we have like a little bit of a mix. We have, like, you know, some people that do come immediately from the hospital, others that wait until their support system is left, and then they come and see us, right? You also have something very differently where in New York, it may be like a lot of first time moms.
Yes.
Well, down here, because we have real estate, right? It's your second time moms, your third, your fourth, your fifth year, whatever.
And you really need to get out of the house by that point.
Exactly, because when you're bringing another baby home with other children, that's already going to be overstimulating.
Yes.
And there's a lot going on. You're dealing with, you know, having to make sure that the baby doesn't feel, the one that you have at home, right, doesn't feel like they're not loved anymore, and that you're still having to spend that equal time while also taking care of this baby, especially if you choose to nurse, that you feel like you can't get a moment to yourself.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. And so it's really about serving the moms postpartum so that they have that space. And what about, okay, as you mentioned before, you've got the baby has to be seen, what is it, 3 days?
It's like, yeah, you're either seeing the baby, I think it's within 1 or 3 days after they've left the hospital.
The doctor's seeing, right? Yeah, is it the pediatrician? Yeah. I think that's actually how I found you guys, though. The the pediatrician who you work with through Haven, who's
Dr. Works.
Yes. I think I found her first.
Okay.
And I had just interviewed my daughter's pediatrician, but I saw her video about Haven and, and I'm like, wait, we have that here? Because so like when I was pregnant with my daughter, I think it was probably then that I learned about this like Korean Asian style of, you have a baby and then you don't just go home, you go to this postpartum retreat center essentially where you're being fed, where you're seeing pediatricians, where you're getting lactation help right there without having to get in the car, drive somewhere, sit in traffic, come home, cook for yourself, blah, blah, blah. Because even for me, when my daughter was born, she was born at home and that went great, but lactation was hard. We had immediately I think, my midwife was like, she was really good at, that, but not a pro. Yeah. So we had to hire somebody else. And that lady wasn't that helpful. Yeah. And then we ended up having to go, after I think it was 9 days, we ended up having to go to, what is it? The hospital, UCLA, to see their inpatient lactation consultant who was amazing. That woman, she fixed the issue. But yeah, we were driving back and forth through we lived in LA at the time, LA traffic, with this newborn baby. We lived in mid-city and the drive to Santa Monica at UCLA was 30 minutes. I remember being in the car and feeling so and having a pump in the car. But you don't have to do that. That's not necessarily the way the rest of the world is doing things. Care can come to you.
Exactly. And so that's what we do. We try to position all the resources in front of you so that you don't have to think about this, right? So you will have access to lactation. You will have access to mental health, therapists. You will have access to massage therapy as well, pelvic floor therapy too. So we try to bring everyone in, as well as you stated, the pediatrician, right? If that's what you so choose, you're able to use Dr. Works. Dr. Works will come and see you at the retreat. You don't have to go out, if you don't want to. So I like to tell people a lot of times whenever you have a baby, everyone wants to come over and hold the baby, but who's holding the mom? That's what we do. We hold the mom. We hold space for her. We hold her. But we also hold the baby. It's not like we just neglect your baby. We love on your baby. We spoil your baby. But we do. That's really important. Is that I know a lot of women are like, oh, a lot of the times you are grieving who you were, right? And you don't get that time or that space to do that because you have a new body you've got to get used to. You're not the snapback culture is awful. Awful. You just took 40 weeks to grow this human.
Right.
Baby girl, you're not snapping back in 2 days. No matter what anyone told you.
In 6 weeks either. Because I remember they're 6 weeks you can go back to working out. What? No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and so you're getting used to feeling like yourself and, sexy in this new body that you have, right? Because it's not the same, but also too into this new role of who you are to this little human, right? And it's never the same because who you were to, this child versus this child, it changes because it's contingent upon also where you are in life, the stressors that you have in life as well. So no child ever gets the same parent, right? And it's different times in your life that you may be learning something new about yourself or you've let something go that maybe you held on to some ideal that you held on to. So maybe that child may get something different. Right. There's just a lot of things that are going on during that period.
Right. That's such a good point. I mean, I didn't even think of it that deeply before. How did you end up did you learn about this when you lived in Korea? How did you end up starting this?
So I was actually doom scrolling one day on social media, right? And I see another retreat pop up and I'm like, what's this? And where was this when I had my children? Right. And so then I'm like, no, we need to bring this to Atlanta. So
this is after your fourth?
Yeah, this is after my fourth.
Oh man,
and
so you didn't get it.
No, I'm what is this? I just felt bamboozled. I was this isn't fair. Yeah, it definitely was something I was like, we need to bring to Atlanta. So with my 4 children, right? The oldest is my bonus from my husband's previous marriage, right? We have primary custody of him, so of course he lives with us. Yeah. But then the other 3 are my biological children. And every single one of them, I went through postpartum depression. And my last one being by far the worst. It was by far, my postpartum during that time was by far the worst.
Wow. So why do you think it was the worst after baby 3?
The delivery, my birth was traumatic as all get out. yeah, it was the most traumatic, right? And then I was telling them that something was wrong with my baby, right? Because my birth was so traumatic. Like, that was like, something's wrong with my baby. I don't, like, it's, all I can tell you is that it looks like she's having, like, apneic episodes. I don't know what else to say to you. No, she's fine. She's fine. She's fine.
This is in the hospital?
I even had someone tell me that, like, one of the NPs that were working that day, oh, sometimes babies just stop breathing. I was like, my baby is term, right? And babies don't stop breathing. Like, something's wrong. Well, they're going to be discharging you at midnight. I was like, well, I'll stay here until, let's see if you guys can catch it. They ended up catching her. They ended up taking her down in NICU. Within the first hour of her being in NICU, she was having seizures. They couldn't tell if it was the apnea causing the seizures or the seizures causing the apnea, right? So they ran through all the tests, did all the things. There was nothing, like, physically wrong with her that they could find. And so the doctor explained it's just sometimes, right, these things happen, but there may not be, like, you may not ever see it as an issue ever again. She never had another seizure, right? But they sent me home with this apnea monitor that if she stopped breathing, it would, like, blare and sound really loud. So it's like, I had this traumatic birth. I had this incident where she was then in NICU for 4 days, right? And this is during COVID.
Really?
Yeah. So a couple weeks prior to that, they were not even allowing you into NICU.
The mother?
Mm-hmm. Because it was during COVID. These are your smallest, your sickest babies typically that are in NICU, right?
Yeah.
So thank God those 2 weeks, like, I was after those 2 weeks. And so I did get to go in. I did get to see my baby and spend time with my baby. And at that time, the hospital did allow me to nest because I was discharged. I had to be discharged on paper, right, for insurance companies.
So what does nest mean? You stayed there?
I was able to stay there.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. So that was, like, I was very, very appreciative of that because I didn't want to go home without my baby. But with all of that, I think that really caused my postpartum depression to be, like, I mean, it was terrible. Like, terrible. Like, I was suicidal.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. How long did it last?
Months.
Months?
Yeah.
Wow. Even when she was home. Were you feeling, because, like, I even remember, like, with my lactation issues, I remember driving in the car to that UCLA to go to see the lactation consultant. And it's probably the first time. And I felt like, oh my God, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, we should never, like, I can't imagine thinking that now, but I remember telling my husband, like, this is a mistake. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing this little baby. She's so tiny and so just, like, so precious. And, like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it right. Because we didn't even realize she had issues with nursing until 9 days. Because it looked like at first, maybe a little hard. And then, midwives leave, and okay. The next day, I don't think she's latching great. We have somebody else come. Okay, she's doing fine, right? It's like, it's a little awkward, but it's probably okay. 9 days, it was probably like 8 days, and then the 9th day, they're like, she's not gaining the weight. They lose weight at the beginning, but gain it back.
Yeah.
She never gained it back. And then they're like, she must not be, let's they do the test.
Yeah.
So nurse her, and then we're going to weigh her. We're going to weigh her before and after. Because they're so tiny, they can, weigh the ounces. And she wasn't. Clearly, she's getting, like, a tiniest bit of milk. Luckily, my midwife was great. She was like, you need to start pumping. You have a pump? Yeah. Okay, start pumping now. Give her in the bottle now.
Yeah.
And I was so, when you're in this, like, depression stage, right? It's irrational. I was so concerned that she would never be able to breastfeed. And then, you go down the rabbit hole of what ifs. Which, like, I'm not depressed now, so my brain can't even fully go there. Like, what if what? Like, what is the big deal? But then, like, what if is the most deepest, darkest depths of hell. Yeah. Right? And I never, like, I'm talking to you right now, I never thought I had, like, I almost said PTSD, but postpartum depression. But I wonder if that's what I don't know.
And I mean, it goes so, like, undiagnosed. Like, it was our pediatrician who, when I went to one of the checkups right before I went to my doctor, who did my EPDS, which is your Edinburgh, postpartum depression screening, and was like, you need to go talk to
because you were just honest on that thing. That's just a paperwork.
Like, a lot of the times, like, I try to figure out, like, how to stump the chump. Like, let's see how I can, like, tell you I'm fine. But I mean, that day I guess I bombed it.
Right.
Like, he was just like, I was like, yeah. I'm like, I got my visit coming up, but yeah.
How do they handle that? What do they do for you?
gave me medication
Okay.
and said, here's a list of therapists. Basically go find one. And if you know, right, if you've ever had a therapist or you've ever done therapy, right, it's like dating your therapist. What makes you think I have the capacity to do that?
Right. You got to speak to all these different people.
I don't. And so I took the medication. I did not have the capacity to sit there and call around and see who I could get into. Yeah.
Did the medication help?
Yeah.
How, like right away, or did it take time?
No, it takes time.
Really?
Yeah. It's not something that's like, oh, you take it overnight. No, it takes time. Right. So like you're battling these thoughts, right? It wasn't ever anything like I wanted to hurt my baby. I just wanted like what was going on. Like I just wanted to break.
Right.
I just wanted to break by any means. Like just give me a break to like silence. You know?
And you must have had 2 babies, so because your son who's older, isn't he only a couple years older?
So yeah,
so he
they're
was
only
a baby
16
too.
months apart.
Oh, so you had 2 for real.
Yeah, they're only 16 months apart.
And then the older is now 3rd grade, so he's also
so they're 4, 6, 8.
You had your hands full.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I have a great support system, right? So like, you know,
but they were helping.
Yeah,
the other,
like my in-laws were helping. My mom, of course, like was helping. Like I do have a very present husband. Like I'm not out here single in a marriage, right? So like I did have that, but it was not necessarily like about him,
it's not about that necessarily. That's depression.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And so you get through it.
Yeah.
What was it like to come out on the other side?
I mean, of course it was better, right? But it's like I had been there before. So when you've been there, you know what you have to do. Like it's you fighting.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Showing up.
It's you. So like it was like, okay, I did it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's incredible. And then you created this so that other women wouldn't necessarily have to go through that and have the resources.
Yeah, and you create the space for them, right? Because here's the lot of things too. It's like a lot of people don't feel like it's a safe space to speak to who's in their immediate surroundings, right? Because a lot of the times you're judged, right? A lot of the times, like I've said this before, it's like suck it up, buttercup. Like we've all had to do it, right? And it's not met with grace. Something that is missing from us as a people in general these days is grace and extending grace, right? And women, we have a really bad habit of wearing our war wounds as though they're badges of honor, right? And because we went through it, you should be okay too, right? Instead of extending grace to them and saying, hey, you know, I know you're going through a rough time. Like, what can I do to help you, right? So that's what we do. We create a safe space that it's like, especially during our evening unwind, right? That's where we kind of do a check-in on you. How are you doing? What's your highs? What's your lows for the day? You know, and if someone's like, you know, today was rough, it sucked. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like you are allowed to speak freely.
Yeah.
Did it suck today? Will it suck tomorrow? Maybe. Is it going to suck every day? No. Right? So let's talk through like how we can get through it. What are some tools that we can give you in order that you're able to, you know, get up and go through the next day? Sometimes you can only give 10%. Hey, that's better than 0. Right? I just think that like we as women, one, we're hard on each other. 2, you see like this image of perfection on social media. It does not exist, right? I think people think just because you want to break from your children that you are a terrible mom. No, sometimes these kids get on your nerves. Like,
They
and you
really
just,
do.
It doesn't mean you don't love them. You love them.
And it's only natural. I mean, look at all the cultures around the world, especially like traditional cultures. The mother is never alone.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's always other, you know, family members, community helping with
Exactly.
the kids.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because like you will get overstimulated.
Yes.
You will be touched out. Right. And so it's a thing of like understanding and also too, like I said, just creating that space to where she's being held and where she has a space to be herself, speak freely, and also have her journey honored in that someone is listening to her and she's being seen. In a time where she is so misunderstood, right? We're giving her the space to be understood. Okay. So, and it's being able to create that space where she feels safe enough to where she can do that. And it's sometimes hard to do that when people know you.
Yeah.
Right. Because they don't really allow you to operate in that space. So that's what
so
we try to create that and
That is
allow
so
them
amazing.
to heal.
Yeah.
Because you can't heal from a place of like lying to yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to heal. You have to heal from a place of truth.
Yes.
In order for you to get to that place of truth, we've got to start like naming, like calling these things out. What are they? And then dealing with them from there.
Yeah.
But hiding behind something or masking, you're never going to solve your issue.
Ooh, I feel like I'm going through therapy right now. I can relate to so many things you're saying, especially like this, like masking and like not wanting to, you don't want the people, for me, I don't want my family to worry about me, you know, especially in life in general. But I remember back then, especially like, I remember my birthday is 4 days after my daughter's. And my family, my dad and my stepmom, they flew in to, like, I think it was that day, to celebrate me, but also to cook and clean and do whatever we needed around the house so I could just be with the baby. But it was my birthday.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to kind of turn up a little bit. But I had a 4-day-old baby, and I just stayed in my bedroom the whole time. And they were, I could hear them like in the rest of the house. And I felt like I've never felt that way before, but I felt like, it's a hard way to say it. I might have had postpartum depression now that I look back at it. It's just, in the time, it's just like, okay, I'm just going through whatever. I'm just like, it was so stressful, especially that breastfeeding, mishaps, that I just like, I didn't even like think about it much. But I felt like I was almost like pulling, like,
You're drowning.
and I was holding the baby. It was like, I feel like we were laid in that bed for hours, and she slept the whole time. And I just felt like I was falling deeper and deeper into that bed I was in. But I didn't want eventually I called my husband to come in, my ex now, to come in. I was like, tell them to leave. Tell everybody to leave.
Yeah.
But that was like 2, 3, I don't know how many hours after. I couldn't even say a word.
Yeah.
Up until then.
Because a lot of people don't ask like how the mom's doing. Like no one says like, how are you doing, right? And then, it's well, after you have the baby, can I come hold the baby? No, I want to hold my own baby. How about you do some of these things that like I don't feel like or want to do right now, right? Stop asking women after they've had a baby, well, let me know like if there's anything that I can help. Well, there are plenty of ways that you can help. How about you bring food over? How about you offer, hey, do you want me to do your laundry? How about you offer, I don't know, anything besides holding this baby?
The easiest thing, the thing that the mother should do.
Exactly. Like she wants to enjoy like these little snuggles because this baby's not going to be, that age for that long, And I think it's just that people just want like they just want to come over and they want to, and that's not helpful.
No, it is not helpful.
I mean, there's all these other things that are piling up behind,
Right.
And then the whole thing of like, just sleep when the
I know. You got stuff to do. Y'all not doing it.
Somebody's got to do these things, and like who can sleep when the baby sleeps? When like I've either had to pump or I've had to nurse them. I had to change them to get them down. Right. They finally got down. They're going to be waking up soon. Like,
and don't add more kids. Don't add more kids.
Yes, I'm like, who can sleep when the baby? Like that is a crazy notion, especially when the baby is waking up every 2 hours to nurse. I'm like,
what kind of sleep is that?
Who gave that advice?
Wow, I remember hearing that all the time. But it's funny because especially like the baby boomers and up. Yeah. Really the baby boomers.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of beef with baby boomers because the way they were raised, or I don't know, the way they approach life, they're so often like you said before that, well, I did it. It's that I did it. It's almost like a lack of, empathy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, I'm not going to say all the crazy things I think, but there can be a lack of empathy that really can be really hurtful.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just like, okay, I like people think just because like you've been punched in the face that's the only way to resolve an argument. It's like, no, you don't, just because you got punched in the face and not like, oh, well, that's just the way things are. Right. No, there are better ways to resolve an argument or a disagreement. You can talk through it, right? Like there are other like methods to get this done. And that's the whole thing. It's like, well, just because you struggled through it does not mean that that is the norm or that everyone has to struggle through it. Stop. Like, we don't have to be martyrs. And I think that's the thing is like, there's this whole thing with motherhood and like being a martyr. You don't have to be everything for everyone. You are not Superwoman, right? And like nobody else is being everything to everyone. So neither do you, right? And so I think that's a thing as well.
That's such a good point though. I think it's a lot of that, like feeling, well, I did it, so you should too, because this is like, not that I don't care about you, but aren't you strong? Can't you do it? Can I do it?
Or this thing of like, because they did it, or, you know, congratulating men for doing the bare minimum. I'm like, it's the bar in hell. And no, I'm not congratulating a fish for swimming.
Right.
Like, pick a partner. You're not their mother.
Yes.
They're your partner. So they should be assisting you
Yes.
in some of those things, like whether it is taking care of the children,
Yes.
cooking meals, cleaning. Like, you're not their maid or their mother. Like, and so there's some of that as well as like, you know, well, you just have to do it because he's not going to. No. He's an able-bodied human being. He can absolutely do it. And I think that for some women, like, this was not my issue, but for some women, that is a problem for them because everything compounds upon one another. Like, they're having to do all of the other household duties too, while taking care of the baby because they don't have the help. And that's a lot. I mean, it's a recipe for depression. Like, not much sleep. What are you eating?
Yeah, good point.
You're not, right? You're constantly caring for someone, and don't even talk about when the baby is cluster feeding. Like, you feel like that baby has been on you all day.
All the time.
There are certain things like hygiene wise, like, you don't get to brush your teeth sometimes or take a shower.
Yeah,
like that's a real thing.
Exactly.
That like people like just tend to like leave out,
right?
Like, because you like this little human's on you, all day,
right? And so, then for me, the worst part was the pump. That thing is like a torture device. Yeah. Like, to actually have to use that thing. I was so glad when my daughter, it took a month. After she turned about like 4 weeks old, we finally were able to like breastfeed like normal. And we did it almost till 3 years old because I'm like, after all that, we got to do it for a long time. But, oh my God, I remember that pump was literally like every 2 hours or whatever it was, torture device. It was so hard. The only good thing about it was I got so much reading in. Like, back then, I read so much. I would have to wake up in the middle of the night, go pump the thing, and read my book.
I used it as a way to like, okay, this is my me time.
Me time.
Yeah. Yes. I would get on my nursing bra and I would hook myself up, and whether it was scrolling, that door would be closed. I may have some snacks and some water next to my little chair, and that was for me. So every 2 hours, I'm like, excuse me, I gotta go pump, and that would be my me time.
If I ever have another baby, I'm gonna make sure to get a butter pump. Yes. The first one I got was like an actual torture device. Like, literally, I can't believe they sell this thing. The second was improved, but still not great. I think I'm going to go for the Cadillac or the whatever, the Rolls Royce next time because it's worth it. Yes. So you guys are operating the postpartum care out of a very, for 4 seasons, very swanky, very nice hotel. So you add that sense of luxury onto it too.
Yes.
Y'all not just at the Motel 6 or anything like that.
No. That would be scary. No shade. No shade, no tea, but that would be a little scary.
Yeah. Is the food coming from there too?
Yes.
Because, like Cafe Margot is like, I love that restaurant. Yeah. So is that the type of food that women are eating?
Yep. So they get, so the Four Seasons, great. They're amazing. They partnered with us to create a postpartum menu for the moms.
So it's probably a little healthier than Cafe Margot.
Well, they have like, the stuff comes from like some of the stuff from Brasserie because, right now they have Bar Margot, right? Yeah. And then they now have Brasserie Margot, which is like a French inspired type of like restaurant. So they do pull some pieces, I will say, from the menus, but to curate our menu. But yeah, it's really,
and that's great. 3 meals a day?
It's 3 meals a day.
Dang, that's nice. How long do you recommend women stay?
So anywhere between 3 to 5 days. So 3 days, it's a minimum. You have to stay at a minimum of 3 nights. But like, I will say like 5 nights is that sweet spot. The reason is that after 3 nights, you feel like, oh, it's time for me to go home because you're checking in at 3:30, right? We let you get settled because we don't know where you came from. Sometimes moms are overstimulated because they've been in the car with the baby in traffic or what have you. So we have to get you oriented to the space, right? By that time, it's dinner. You've ate, you kind of chilled out for a little bit. Then we're rolling into your evening unwind. By that time, after that, after your evening unwind, tea, they're like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. Great. The next day, you wake up, you're going to do breakfast, a workshop.
Oh.
Like, because we do daily workshops.
Really?
Like parenting workshops, yep.
Is it just 101s or do you bring the women together?
So, yep, we do them in the lounge.
Nice.
Yeah, so
you get out of the room.
Yep, they get out of their room, meet other moms that are there, and have a little sense of community.
That's so cool.
So then later on that day, I mean, you may have a journaling session, right? And then you're going into dinner and then, evening unwind and then the next day, right? And then it's like your massage, depending on what you have, it may just seem too tight, like too close together. We try to spread everything out because at the end of the day, it's about the capacity, like what that mom has the capacity to do. Like sometimes you wake up and you had a session with one of the therapists and you're like, I can't. Okay, no worries. Right.
Wow.
We'll try and reschedule it. But
Right.
like we have more space and time and flexibility when you're there for 5 nights as opposed to 3. After that, we're trying to then refer you out or give you like resources that you can utilize like once you've left.
That's amazing that they're actually doing workshops and like, okay. Because I'm thinking, so I'm like a little bit of a busybody. I'm like, I probably would like to get up and like walk around the hotel. But you're not just doing that. You're actually having workshops and meeting other moms.
Yep.
I think that is also like for me, once my daughter was 8 weeks, 8 weeks, I started going to a postpartum workshop group in LA. Of everything I did, like that was one of the most amazing, valuable experiences. I'm still friends with the moms. They almost all moved here to Atlanta because, Atlanta's better anyway. But it was so amazing to have that and like complain together and that sense of support and like understanding all these other young moms with the babies.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yep. And then we also do a half-day reset, right? So, of course, unfortunately, like this offering is not affordable, right? Insurance does not pay for it yet. We should say yet. We're working diligently on that, right?
Good luck.
And employers, like if we can get it a part of your employee benefits, we're always open for that, right? So that these moms can have access to it. But if there's not that, you can also use your HSA and FSA.
Okay.
Can't do that. It's an out-of-pocket expense. It is expensive, right? So one thing we do offer is a half-day reset, too. Half-day reset is where we either do group or private sessions. So if you do the group, it's group therapy, group pelvic floor, therapy as well, and then like a one-to-one massage with the massage therapist, okay? If you do a private session, you get private therapy, private pelvic floor therapy, private session with the massage therapist, a 30-minute massage, and then you're also getting a $50 gift card to have lunch at the Four Seasons. So whether you want to do it at the Brasserie Margot or Bar Margot, depending on what time it is.
And you wouldn't bring baby for that, right?
You can.
You could.
So
because you got a nurse.
Yeah, we have a whole nursery. So, if you want to bring baby, it's an additional charge, but baby can be over there. So they're not far in case you need to like run out and nurse them. You're able to do that as well. So, yeah.
So, okay. Y'all have like a whole floor or something? Like, how do you, like, what if the baby in the middle of the night is like screaming, crying, or are the walls like really thick? How does that work with the other guests at the hotel?
No one really complains. Yeah, no one complains.
Yeah.
We don't have any issues.
Nice.
So, like, if we're keeping baby overnight for mom, we just ask that, of course, that we have something to feed baby with, like whether it's formula or, or breast milk.
Okay.
If not, we will be bringing baby back to you.
Yes, for bed.
For them to get fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're in the nursery.
If you choose your baby.
You can choose.
Yeah, it's all about choice, right? And we're heavy on
Yes.
choice and agency because I think that during a lot of the times when, especially like for first-time moms, you have no idea what you're going into, right? And it's like people trying to tell you the things that you should look out for and the things that you should do is like, they don't know. They have literally no idea.
Right.
So at that time, because you have made up in your mind how your delivery is going to go, what's this? And then none of it happens.
None of it.
Right. You feel like all your choices have been taken away from you.
Yeah,
So
okay.
what we try to do is like give you a time to regain those choices, right? And so a lot of times with like your in-laws or your parents are like, you don't need to do that. You just need to do this with this baby. You just need to do that with that baby. And it's like, ma'am, you had a baby like 3 or 4 decades ago.
Literally.
Please
You don't
stop.
remember.
You don't remember. And things have changed. It's like, it's science. Like, stop it. So, like, as long as you're not harming your baby, we're going to meet you where you're at. And we're going to respect your wishes because you know what you want for your child. And a lot of the times it's not like we're having children at like 12 years old, 15 years old anymore. Women are having babies, older. They're more educated. They've done all the research of why they want this for their child. We're going to respect you. We're going to meet you right where you're at. And if that's what you want to do for your baby, we're going to do it. If you want to formula feed, great. If you want to breastfeed, great. We're not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. what we're doing is we're providing you with the support for the choices that you're making for you and your child during your motherhood journey. It's not anyone else's. It does not belong to anyone else.
Right.
What you want to do for your child is what matters most.
Right. And so there's a night nurse. So there's people there all night, right? Making sure.
Yeah, so we have
for the
nurses,
nursery.
doulas, and infant care specialists. So there are 3 positions that work there.
And what if a woman wants to have the baby in the room with her, but does it make sense to be like, I want the baby in the room with me, but I need like somebody to come in the middle of the night to help me? Like,
We'll do that. Depending on the package that you have, we will do that.
nice.
Yep.
My father's friend is a night nurse. She does like nanny stuff, but also night nurse. And I was like, that is such a good idea to have something like that.
Yep.
Too.
And so like the difference between night nursing, they're in your house. So
Yes.
some people can still hear their baby crying. They're like, is that my baby? And they're like, okay, let me go check. When they're in you actually get to sleep.
Right. They're taken care of.
Yeah, they're taken care of. If they cry, babies cry, right?
Yes.
But also too, we also give you a sense of safety and security as well, as because like you can see your baby on the monitors. Each baby has a monitor that's over their bassinet, unless they're like not in there.
Right.
We'll put a little sign in there letting you know that they're being snuggled right now or they're being changed or whatever, or why they're not in there.
You guys have thought of everything.
Yeah, but most of the times those nurses and the doulas and the infant care specialists, they're holding the babies.
Yeah.
They're not putting the baby down. They're snuggling them.
Oh, because that's good for them too. Oh, it's a win-win. That is just so sweet.
Yep.
Did you ever think about did you immediately go into wanting to offer this service, doing it, like an actual postpartum, like the women go somewhere, or did you consider ever doing it in home?
So we are going to eventually roll out our in-home
expanding.
Product. Yeah, we'll expand because that makes it more accessible as well, right? We just haven't got there. We started with this model first.
I like that, because then would it be like the women who work under you guys would go sort of be deployed. That's nice. So my dad's friend, and also there's a neighbor who I met, and this lady was a similar night nurse too. So it's good that there's, more understanding. And then so many people here in Atlanta are not from here. Yeah. So they have family far away.
Correct.
They really, really need this.
Correct.
Yes.
And so then that's what we did. We offer that level of support for them, especially when they don't have anyone at home. Like some people will, because you're able to come with your husband or your support person or your partner.
Stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. We encourage it.
The whole family.
Not the whole family.
Right. Not grandma?
Because the thing is that some people are like, oh, can I bring my kids? And it's like, no, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, I know.
How can you rest and recover if you're chasing around the other children? They come visit. Yeah, they absolutely can come visit you. But staying here, you're not going to rest and recover because another child is going to be wanting your attention, right? Yes. So, but yeah, we encourage
husbands.
Yeah, husbands or partners or whoever you want your support person to be, they're able to come, right? Some of the women that we have, they're like, no. You can stay at the house.
Yeah, that's what I was like. They're like, I'll see him later.
This is for me.
Have you ever heard of women saying it was not the easiest thing to convince their partner or their husband to this is what I really need. I need to go. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good, because I'm imagining the conversation around that. Are you sure you need to do this? Not that my ex would have done that, because he was very supportive as well. Yep. He was kind of my doula, even. He did the whole, he did it all great. But I know not all men are supportive.
No, and I think the bigger thing is, people not even understanding or seeing the value, right? Yeah. Because, one, this is not something that you can go ask your mom about or your grandmother about, right? So we're having to educate on the value of it. For the moms who have had more than one child, so the second time, third time, whatever moms, those moms see it. They're like, oh yeah, no, I can fully get on board with this. For explaining it to the moms who have never had a child, it's like trying to get them to remember someone they've never met, right? They have no idea. They have no idea what postpartum is going to be like for them. They've never even seen it before.
They never even talk about it. No. When you're preparing, right? No. It's always pregnancy and delivery. That's it.
Exactly. And it's just
it never goes the way you thought it was going to go anyway.
No. And then if you have to have a C-section, no one ever, literally no one tells you. Your incision feels like it's on fire, like someone torched you, burning.
How long?
I mean, the incision's going to burn for a little bit. It's going to be numb for a very long time. When I mean a very long time, I'm talking about like a year plus.
Wow.
Like people, like they're just
Right.
like, I mean, it's major surgery.
Right. Literally.
Yeah. And they're just like, you're going to be all
And
right.
nobody talks about it because I didn't even know what it felt like. I know it's like painful because I've had a lot of friends who've had C-sections and the recovery's not been the greatest. But like, what does it feel like? Like, I didn't even know.
Yeah. So I've had 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, depending on the type of delivery you've had, we prep your room. So if you've had a C-section, we're putting a bed rail in so that you're able to like, you know, use that in order to help you like get up, right? If you've had an issue where you're having difficulty making it to the bathroom, we will put a bedside commode in your room in order to like, you know, ease that like transition. So there are certain things that we put in the rooms in order to prep the room based off of like where you are postpartum, right? In order to ensure that you have everything and all the support that you need.
Right.
I know some women feel guilty for pulling on us or asking us to do things, and it's like, do not. Like, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Don't feel guilty. We're here to support you. We're here to do anything that you need for us to do. And I tell, you know, the people anyone that tries to or wants to work for us, I'm like, if you think you're too good to do anything, I'm sure there are a million places that would love to have you here. I can't.
Not it.
Like, we lead with love.
Yeah.
Right. And if she needs help, like doing something, because during this time we're seeing women at their most vulnerable point that they will have in their lives. Like, some women cannot properly like clean themselves. They like just being discharged and having, you know, a C-section. They're going to need help to do that. And to have to ask someone to do that, you know, it's already enough within itself. Right. And if you think that you're too good to help her during a time where it's already hard enough for her to even ask for some assistance, I can't because anyone who's been there and has dealt with my staff will tell you, like, you can just feel like the love off of them because that's what I'm looking for whenever you're in a spot where you don't feel like yourself. Everything's all over the place, right? You need someone who is going to extend love to you, right? And lead with love, because when you're operating from a place of love, everything's going to go well, right? Exactly. You're not operating from a place of like being spiteful or mean or anything like that. So,
wow. How did you actually like start it? Like, I know like you had the idea, but how did you make this happen?
So I had told my best friend, who was my business partner too. I was like, yeah, I want to do this. All right. And she's like, okay, girl, like, I've seen you do so many things. Like, I think that, you know, you sound passionate about this. I think that this would be a great idea. Go do it. I was like, okay, I got to talk to God about it first. So during that time, you know, I was also working and I had a consulting thing on the side as well. So I go to God and I'm like, God, this is what I want to do. Like, is this, you know, aligned with you? This is in your will for me. And God tells me I have no room to bless you. Like, you have to let something go. Because at that time I was working, and I was working full time in consulting, right?
And kids.
So he's like, I have no room to bless you. You have to let something go. And I'm like, but hold on, time out. God, this makes money. Okay. Yeah. This over here is not going to make money for, you know, a while. It's a new business, right?
Exactly.
It's a startup. I don't get gentle parenting from God. I'll tell anybody that. God was like, I'm not about to argue with you. I was gone. I was like, wait.
No gentle parenting.
No gentle parenting. I don't get the, oh, come here. Like, let me know. God's like, I'm not about to argue with you. I said what I said. Goodbye. And I'm like,
That's
wait
so
a minute.
funny.
So I cried. I finally submitted, right? So the moment that I submitted, doors flew open.
Wow.
God put people in our path that, like, we didn't have to know what to say. We didn't have to know where to go. We didn't have to know what to do when it came to doing all of the things. They were just put in our paths. Like, what do you do? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know how to do that. I can help you. And it's like, oh, okay. Okay. So it took us, right, literally 4 months. That's it. 4 months to stand the business up, right? And I've talked to other people who was like, oh, it took me like a year, 2 years to stand, you know, this up and do this. Of course, we went through like a little hiccup because we were at the Thompson first, right? And then we ended up moving over to the Four Seasons. That was ended up being a better fit. But yeah, that was nothing but, like, if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, God, right? God, literally, the moment that I submitted, the moment that I was obedient, I said, okay, fine, this is the thing I'm going to let go. That's how we got it done so quickly.
Incredible.
It was crazy. It was like, okay, this person knows how to do this. Okay, this person knows how to have these conversations. Oh, okay. Wow. Got it. That's all we needed. And I mean, for free. I mean, it wasn't as though like we had to pay someone to consult to, like on our behalf. It was just like, no, I know how to do this. I'll do this for you guys. Don't worry about it. It's done. And I was like, oh, okay.
And your business partner, your best friend, does she have a background in, medical background or anything?
No, so my best friend is an attorney.
Okay.
Right. So she like handles like all like
that's
like
important.
all the contracting for us. In terms of like women's health, like I've had experience with that because of being like, and actually the last role that I had at the hospital was like doing stuff within that, operationalizing some of the things from the obstetric like unit. So it's just like, I just see how like everything, leading up to this point has put me in a position to do this. Right.
How are you finding new moms? Are like, is it hospitals or OB-GYN? How do they pronounce it?
OB-GYNs?
Or
OB-GYNs.
OB-GYNs. Are they referring? Like, how are women finding out?
So we're working on that, right?
Yeah. Hopefully this will be helpful.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So we have been, of course, social media. We're starting to really get out there, like doing a grassroots approach and really getting out in the doctor's offices and handing out more of like our marketing material and trying to work more like directly with them in order to get some of those referrals into Haven.
I remember I started, I used to be a private chef in New York, and I was trying to get clients at first, and it was like, you guys are you already have clients and such. But I remember back then I was trying to like collab with, doctors, of course, because I was doing vegan cooking. Yeah. And obviously you're a cardiologist and, you're going to prescribe, you're going to help. And it felt like forever till I got my first client. And it was so funny. That client, I had gone into a nail salon and like put my little brochure flyer thing down. She came from them. And I never put another thing out because after that,
you should have business.
Yeah. Just like all of a sudden now I'm cooking for her friends, and then all of a sudden now I'm like number one on Google when you search like private chef New York, not even vegan. Yeah. Just like pop right up. It's like, how in the world? It took months to get to that point, but it's like the floodgates are just open. Like when you commit. When you're like, okay, I don't see any, like, I'm not seeing the fruits yet, but I'm going to keep watering it. I can't give up. I just know there's something here. At least, like, give yourself, it took like 6 months. That is not a long time. Yeah. But just give yourself the time and keep watering, keep having those conversations. The floodgates are open.
And that's where we're at right now. It's like we're still watering, and we're like, okay. And I'm very a person of, if it's not working, let's change it. Like I'm not going to keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. So, and I'm also too a girl that I'm like, let's boil the ocean. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I know I stress people out who work with me because they're like, Brittany, like we can't do another thing. I'm like, yes, we can. Fine, I'll do it. But yeah, so that is the biggest thing is like visibility, because people don't even know that we're here.
They don't know
like,
it exists.
What? No, they're like
concept.
No, they're like, what? There's this in Atlanta. Oh my God! Like I saw one lady yesterday who's gonna stay with us, and she was like, oh, I was gonna fly to California. I didn't even know you guys had one here, and I was like. But there's so many people who see us. They're like, "Oh, I was going to go to another state for this. Oh, I was going to." And I was like, "How
are they Googling? Like, how are they finding you?"
Social media. Yeah. When like they finally like see us on their feed.
Yes. Yeah. Good thing social media does track us and follow us around, because they kind of like, you just had a baby.
Yeah.
Check out.
Check out this. I'm like, keep going.
Yeah. Keep it up. That's brilliant, though. It's good to know that even the women who might have been interested in going out of state are finding you. That they already had that like inkling, like, let me do something like this for myself.
Yep. And like, so the moms who like there is no explanation behind it are like, of course, like Asian moms or like the Orthodox Jewish community truly understands like postpartum care as well. Or people that are from like Europe, they understand postpartum care. Yes. Like, right, not necessarily maybe a postpartum retreat, but they understand that like, oh, there's actually support, And a lot of the times, like, you'll see in like our comments on like TikTok, it's like, how does America not have like postpartum support or postpartum care for moms? And it's like, well,
sorry, we're a little behind.
Yeah.
We're catching up. We are behind, right?
Yeah.
It is so crazy. But it's like, you know, the reason I wanted to start this podcast is I like having conversations. I like to talk. And I'm also nosy. I like to hear people's stories. I'm inspired. But also because I really want to it can feel really daunting a lot of times to, especially when we have social media, getting all these messages and this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. It can feel daunting. I often see I'll watch a video and it's about did you know such and such is bad for you? It'll be like something basic. It'll be like, Lord, I can't eat nothing no more. I give up.
Yeah.
And my hope is that people won't have that attitude. That it might just take a little or a lot more effort to find the solution, but the solution's out there.
Yes.
Even in a country like ours, that is, there's so many systems that are built up to not support you, to make it harder. But even here, with a little bit of digging or a lot of bit of digging sometimes, creativity even, and really putting yourself first, empowering yourself to, even if I don't have Postpartum Retreat Center anywhere near me, what could I do? I mean, some people are just in really horrible situations where, but not everybody is.
That's very true.
A lot of us are not. No. And we do have more power than we realize. So it's that group that I'm see, there's things out here for us.
Yep.
There's resources.
Yep.
In this previous episode, we were talking about this farmer, how do you start this? Because so many people want to do it. Also, it's not lucrative, by the way. And it even for her, now she's very successful. She's it's not lucrative. But how do you do it? She's you just do it.
Yep.
All of these things.
Yep.
You just do it. You just got to get creative sometimes. You got to commit. But I feel we really have to see our own value, respect, and have to see our value, right? Because nobody else is going to see it.
No.
We have to do it ourselves.
Absolutely. But I think that money helps.
Money.
That.
Ooh, we love money.
Yeah.
It
so
does help.
Yeah, it helps with you being able to see your value. It helps with you being able to also have things that you're not going to tolerate or you're not going to put up with, right? Because you have the resources to not have to do those things. So that's a huge thing, is to be able to have those boundaries. Yes, you have to have boundaries, but money helps you basically enforcing some of those boundaries too.
What do you think about for women who, let's just say someone's pregnant watching this now, and they're thinking, oh yeah, I would love to go to do something like this when my baby is born, but I don't have the funds. What would you recommend? Is there, how could they support themselves, and what should they do?
So there are a couple of things I would say. Start building community around you, right? So you have this time, and some people are well, I don't know anyone, right? Well, then start getting to know people, right? Because communities aren't built overnight. Yes, we all know this, but if you start building it, by the time you have your baby, then you'll have something, right? And that's something that is free, right? You don't have to spend any money on that. Start getting out, meeting people. And I'm not saying trust everybody immediately, right? Trust your gut, but you got to start building that, right?
Maybe go to church or something if you're not already.
Look for free events. There's always stuff that you can look for online, for mommy baby kind of events you were talking about. I went to a postpartum class, at 8 weeks, right? Some of those things are free, right? Yeah. There are also I'm not sure how much this costs, but there are also groups out there like Circle Moms and Mesh Moms that, you can find your little group of people, right? Yes. So I would start, community is huge. Yes. When you're trying to navigate this, because just like that whole adage, it takes a village, right? And we've lost our village. Yes. So sometimes you've got to create that village. And I think that is something that, moms can do. You could also too, and a lot of people will say, well, I don't even have the money to save. But when I say save, start saving for things that you may be able to get. Maybe you can use a doula, right? Maybe you can have someone at your house for a few hours, right? So save a little bit of that money so that you can have that for when the time comes, so that you can utilize that. Laundry, outsourcing, right? There's a place near here. Well, it's not near. Well, it's kind of close, whatever. But it's $1.99 per pound for laundry. Wash, fold, dry, everything's done, right? They'll even deliver to you for free too.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
So which that's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's a way to like be able to help with some things as well.
Right.
You've really got to start building your community and not just like you said, getting creative. You don't get to just throw your hands up, right? There's a way to get it done.
There is.
And there's a way to get it done at minimal cost, but it's going to take some work and effort and creativity from you in order to get it done.
I remember, like, especially the mommy groups. I remember pregnant women coming. Yeah, because it was mostly, you know, moms with their new babies. But I remember pregnant women coming and just like asking us questions.
Yep.
And we were like, oh my gosh, so happy to talk to them. So happy to have, you know, be able to share our experiences. You know, I'm sure, I don't remember if we ever like raised money or got like stuff.
Meal
for new mom.
trains.
Yeah, meal trains are fantastic.
Yeah.
If you have that community, build up, have them do a meal train for you so they cook and bring the food to your home. Also, you know what I was thinking, because you were saying like the laundry and stuff around the house. Depending on where you live, you might be able to get like a little high schooler or somebody who needs some extra cash after school to do basic things like get the laundry in the dryer or the washing machine and take it out, whatever, to clean the kitchen, you know, like little things. You don't need, like we were saying before, once you have that baby, you want to be with the baby. You want to hold the baby, nurse baby. You trust yourself probably most with the baby. You don't need to hire like a fancy babysitter. You just need help.
You need help. That's it.
Or like maybe an old lady. My grandmother, she used to do that. She doesn't work anymore, but she used to help, you know, she was like a home health care worker type, but she would help with elderly people and babies and babysitting children too. There's always people who are going to do that, and they love it.
They love it. We're also standing up a foundation too.
Really?
So that we can, like moms that are 80% below the area median income, so that we're able to provide them with resources and whatever that looks like, whether it is to be able to subsidize them going to the retreat, whether it is to be able to get them that stuff at home, getting them, you know, free items as well. So that is another piece of like accessibility, because anyone who knows me knows that this burns me up. This is not accessible. It's not affordable, but it's like where we are in order to be able to get it off the ground and get buy-in from insurance companies and employers and what have you. We have to start somewhere.
When it comes to the employers, do you like speak to the HR departments and stuff and try?
So that's where we're trying to like break down those doors, right? HR benefits managers in order to be like, hey, this is an offering for your, you know,
Can you
employees.
imagine you're getting a job and this is like you're a young woman, a young family, and this is one of the offerings?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes, I'll take the job. That's amazing.
Please, thank you. I'll take 3 more kids.
Right. Literally. Honestly. That's, oh my God, to me, it's so brilliant. How do you manage this with your 3 kids? Are you at the retreat center a lot? Like, and you're also working?
Oh, yeah.
Your other?
Yeah. So my cousin, who during that, like, it was like a few years ago, you know, has been impacted by the film industry. So, which a lot of people have been, right? So she's our nanny. So she, yes, does pickups, gets the kids, you know, bathed, like we'll do extracurriculars, take them to the swimming on the days that they have swimming.
And it's a family member. That's so special.
Exactly. And she used to watch me when I was a kid too.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's great. And so that helps out tremendously because I do have to do stuff at the retreat. And if we are ever, you know, if the staff ever needs anything, like I'm there, like to help them with anything that they need as well. So, and then, like I said, my husband is active participant. He's with the kids too. Of course. So so that's how we like.
Does he work in or out of the house?
He works outside the house.
And your other job, AWS, are you in working from home or do you have to go in the office?
I get to work from home.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like you got to figure out how to manage all these things. It's a lot. Like just. Do you eventually, I'm assuming, I don't know, do you want to go full time with this? Is this like your plan? Are we allowed to say that on camera?
Yeah. Absolutely. Would love to. It's just like we're just not there yet.
Yeah, you're growing.
Yeah, we're growing.
Yeah. That's so cool. And the oldest kid, it's a boy, right? Is he helpful? Are boys helpful?
No.
Teenage boys, they have their own lives, right? Yeah.
Boys are not really like you have boys and you have girls and you're just like the girls are super dramatic.
Yeah.
Right? All the drama, oh my God. The boys are boys. They're like they're feral. Like all of them are feral, but like boys are just like cavemen, right?
Yeah. Were you really excited to have a girl?
I mean, I was just
Did
like,
you-
okay, yeah, like,
Really?
yeah, this is a girl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She is a lot like her mother.
Really?
Yes, so she is. Homegirl is very sassy.
I bet she's so cute.
She is so sure of herself. She is this little old thing, right?
Yeah.
And she is just got this big personality. She's so sure of herself.
Aww.
Yeah, that thing is crazy. I remember my cousin was saying that they were going to a friend's house, and she was like, Natalie, don't go in here talking everybody's head off. She was like, well, how are they supposed to know who I am if I don't talk to them?
That's girl.
Because
I
it's
love
like-
that. Her name
Yeah.
is Natalie.
Her name's Natalie.
I love that name. That is the cutest little name.
She's got it. She is,
Natalie.
I mean, sassy, will tell you about yourself. Oh, yeah. Like, I just, it's a lot.
Does she keep up with the boys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's got to.
She tells them what to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you want to have any more?
Oh, my husband got a vasectomy.
Okay,
He
so
was like,
we're done.
if you're going to have more, you got to get it from another man.
Yeah, 4 is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 4 sounds about right. That's so fun. I'm so grateful that you came.
No, thank
I
you for
really
having
love talking
me.
to you. This is
Likewise.
inspiring. And I know people will find it helpful and like hopefully open some people's eyes up to other options.
Yes.
And the importance of taking care of yourself postpartum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what the big thing too is like, especially in South Korea, right? They understand that is a critical time that will affect you way past like that, what they consider to be the postpartum, time. If you're not adequately cared for during during that postpartum period, it can either make or break you essentially.
Okay. So I want to hear about that real quick though, because it's not just for like your mental health, it's for your physical health as well, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's like the Chinese medicine base? Like what is the...
So I think in China, they do something different, like where they are like, you are actually you're in the bed.
Right. That like 40 days.
Yeah. It's like you're in the bed,
That's
right?
a long time.
Where in Korea, it's a little bit like you said, like they have like the postpartum, like retreats or centers that you can like actually go to. Right. And so it's what it's about, right? It's providing that mother with support so that she is able to adequately heal and rest. The problem that we have here is that we don't even have federally mandated leave, right?
Right.
So like you stated at the beginning, like you're having to go back to work, like, very, very early on because if you don't have PTO, banked up, right? In order for you to get paid while you're off. Some people use short-term disability, but that's only 60% of your pay generally, right? Unless there's something else that has to happen. If your employer is not giving you X amount of time off, you're having to figure that out.
Right.
That's a lot of stress.
That's a lot.
To have to figure out, like, okay, I have to go back to work because most people, do have to work, gotta pay bills, right? And that's very stressful. Plus, you're not really getting to spend that time to bond with your baby because, 3 months comes and goes like that. And that's if you have that.
And 3 months is good.
Yeah,
That's long.
that's if you have that,
If.
right? Yeah, it's heavy on the
Yeah.
if. Yeah.
That's like a fancy job.
Which is crazy because everywhere else, and when I say everywhere else, I mean other countries will give a year off, sometimes even more,
and for
right?
the mom and the dad. Dad gets stuff too.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Amazing.
I know. I know. It is crazy. Mind blowing.
Mind blowing.
And I'm just like, America, girl, get it together.
Right.
I know you got a lot of things going on, but get it together. It's not a complex topic. It's not a complex issue. Other well-developed countries have figured it out. You don't have to even
we are the richest.
take the blueprint.
Right.
Girl, get it together.
Get it together.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, the reason it's not together is it's not together on purpose.
Absolutely.
They want us to be sick. They want us to be medicated. They want us to be all these things. So that's for me, the worst thing about America is that it's built upon our exploitation. We are the product.
Yes.
We are the slaves in a way. Technically. So it's you have to fight so hard to go against the grain because it is not meant on purpose.
True.
They will not change it. Eventually, perhaps in 50 years, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's not supposed to be. We're supposed to be yay, rah, 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 we love it here. Which, I love it here.
Yeah.
Like you said before,
Yeah,
we are
I
very
came back.
entitled.
Yeah.
We have a lot of, creature comforts here. But we have to acknowledge that this is, what we are giving away in order to have the Whole Foods down the street and all these creature comforts is our, not autonomy, because you can have both, I feel, right?
True.
In a way.
True.
But acknowledging that, like, it is not set up for you to have that autonomy.
True.
They're trying to, and it's so funny, there's all this propaganda, of course, about like China. And it's like social credit score, communism, you're not free, and all these other countries, you're not free. But I'm like, yeah, but like, are we?
Yeah, you're, no matter what, right, you're sacrificing something and you are like you just said, a slave to something. So whether that is your health, whether that is that's physical or mental, right? Whether that is, things that you can obtain freely, like, for instance, like some of those countries that have like a socialism, right? They get healthcare, they get, school paid for, but those things come at a cost too because they're paying high taxes, right? And healthcare is you gotta wait in the line.
You gotta wait.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
You do.
So it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another. But you're right. No matter how you cut it, it's rough.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, okay, because if the government is paying for the healthcare, then obviously they are incentivized
To keep you healthy. Hello.
Literally.
No, seriously.
It's the opposite here.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to pay more into, like, and I love America. I have high hopes. I really do. But yeah, like I would, and I don't want to pay higher taxes, but if you give me something for it, take it. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
And right now, the issue is not to be so political, but the issue is like, I don't believe so much in this, like, we need to tax the rich more money. I do not believe that because all this money going to fund things that personally I don't believe in, like war, and all this money going to Pentagon, all these things. Like, can't we just reallocate how we use this money instead of? I understand. I believe like this tax the rich conversation is a distraction. It's further like separating. They're always trying to separate us from each other rather than admit. Of course, why would they admit to? Yeah, we're just squandering your money. We're just like, talk about, there's like back in the 90s, there was this welfare queen thing. The welfare queens are the corporations. It's not the people, but they don't want us to know that. So yeah, in the meantime, we've got to really take care of ourselves. That's the only way.
Yep. But like you said, it's set up so that you don't, because the food that is the least expensive is the most unhealthiest for you, right?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
It's evil. It's really sad. But a lot of times on this podcast, we've talked about spirituality. I know you're Christian. And, for me, I'm not Christian, but I'm, one of those people, I'm not Christian, but I'm spiritual. But I really, really, really am. And I feel like that has been, like you said, I asked you before, how did you do all this stuff? How did you start it? You're like, God. And I really feel that way too. So I feel like they can take everything. We can have anything. The air quality's poor, whatever. But as long as I have God, I have a connection to my source. That's what I really need.
No, you're right. Because I'll be the first one to tell anybody, my provisions don't come from man. They come from God. So while you think that you're taking something away from me, you never gave it to me to begin with, right? Amen. And if you can take something from me, it was never mine to begin with, so you can have it, right? So I only want what's for me, and what's for me, you can't have. Like, no one can take it away. So I try not to get, like, as frustrating as where we are is, because it is insanely frustrating. I try to keep the perspective that I'm going to be okay. Yeah. We're going to be okay. Right. This is a rough spot. Nonetheless, like, really, really rough. Yeah, my provisions don't come from man. Yes. At all.
Amen. Yeah. I love that. It's so true. I'm right with you right there.
Yeah, it's hard. It is. I'm gonna tell you, it's really hard because, like you said, there's so many distractions out there that is, it's made to create a lot of division, right? And when you can create division, like, you can just start control. Yep, you can control. You can rip things apart, and so it's really trying to figure out a way of, in the midst of that, how do we stay together, right? Like, how do we fit together like pieces of a puzzle, right? And I think that is the difficult thing. And I think that, like, just like I told you, like at the retreat, right, we lead with love. I think that when you insert love in a lot of things, it's a very hard, it's hard to be divisive.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
It's really, really difficult. So what they're doing is they're doing all these things, and it's not out of love. It's actually the direct opposite,
Literally,
right?
yeah.
And so that's why all these things are able to happen. So if you can find a way, as far as perspective, like looking at it, right, to look at it from a place of love, then you can operate a little differently. And it just takes more and more people of looking at it that way in order to do that. But until we get there, girl,
We gonna have to keep doing it though.
just keep.
We keep leading with love. And we might take a little left turn, but I'm back on it. I'm leading with love. Amen. That is perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.